Hi everyone, welcome to Gal Days. It is one of those strange things which feels so strange when we hear it for the first time, but it looks so familiar and so obvious after hearing about it. I'm talking about the apparent movement of the sun. Now, some of you might be familiar with the idea that the earth is not constant, nor the stars, nor the entire celestial bodies. They are all in a constant state of flux. They are constantly moving. Now, here we're going to talk about the concept in geography where we see the sun not standing still or not rising from the same place. It seems to be moving across our horizon. Now, there are two different kinds of apparent movement, right? You're familiar with one because happens so rapidly. It happens every day within the span of 24 hours. That is the difference of day and night. It changes from day and moves to night, and we see it. It happens so fast, so it is so obvious to us. But there is another apparent which is so subtle, it takes a whole year, or in other words, the entire journey around the sun to see what is happening. So, to complete one cycle in this apparent movement, the Earth has to travel its entire orbit around the Sun. It has been observed that the Sun moves between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn in an year, right? So, if you have a camera and you point into the sky and take a picture of that particular piece of sky with the Sun in it, for an year, you will get something like this. The sun loops and turns and makes this 8-figure shape. Now, this clearly shows the sun is moving and is changing its location, changing its position every day. Now, this is an image of the entire journey of the sun. It takes a whole year to get this picture, which is superimposed from all the different pictures that the photographer have been taking. Now, the movement is restricted between the tropical region. Right? The sun moves from Tropic of Capricorn to Tropic of Cancer. It moves between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Now, why this happened is the real question. Now, the day and night cycle happens because of the rotation of the Earth on its axis. Rotation of the Earth on its axis. But the apparent movement, what we are talking about, the difference, the movement of sun from one tropic to the other happens because of the revolution of the Earth around the sun on a tilted axis. Okay, so there is a tilted axis, there is a revolution around the sun for an year. So, if you look at this image, it is quite clear. Sometimes the Earth, the northern hemisphere of the Earth, is facing towards the sun, sometimes it faces away from the sun. The time or the period when the northern hemisphere is facing towards the sun is called northern summer. And when it faces away, it is northern winter. Now, the opposite is true for the southern hemisphere. Now, if you look at this image, it is clear that some dates are mentioned in it. In this image, it is clear that there are some dates mentioned here. Let's see them. Let's trace the movement of the sun through the calendar. We'll start at 21st March, right? It is the time of equinox. Now, it is a time in the calendar when the sun is directly over equator. When the sun is directly over equator, falling straight at it, and it is the point where you have equal day and equal night in both the hemispheres. Equinox means equal nights. Okay, so that is the point in time when the sun is over the equator, and we call it equinox. Let's start here. And second, what happens? The sun is constantly moving, right? As our Earth is revolving around the sun in its orbit, after some times, precisely on 21st June, it is not precise, it changes, right? It changes from day or two. So, on 21st June, because of the movement of the sun, because of the movement of the Earth on a tilted axis, it will reach this position where the northern hemisphere is facing towards the sun. That means more energy of the sun is falling on the northern hemisphere. And this is a point when we'll have summer solstice. Summer solstice. It is the point in time when the sun's rays falls directly overhead in the Tropic of Cancer, that is in the northern hemisphere. This is the northernmost extent where the sun can go. It cannot go beyond this space. After summer solstice, the sun will move further down and it will reach the southern the equatorial region on 23rd September. Again, we have an equinox when the day and the night are equal in northern and the southern hemisphere, and the sun's rays is falling directly over the equatorial line. Okay, so that is happening on September 22nd. Now it is not stopping there. To complete the full cycle, we have to reach winter, that is 22nd December. Again, we have a solstice, but this time it is not summer solstice because the northern hemisphere is facing winter season. So it is a winter solstice. So this where would the sun be? It would be on the Tropic of Capricorn, directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, and sun's rays fall directly overhead in this region, right? So this is the image of the tilted earth facing the sun. Because of this 23.4 degree tilt of its axis, some part of it faces the sun and some part faces away from the sun. And this tilt and this revolution causes this entire moment when, after the completion of this solstice, we'll have a repeat of the cycle. We'll start from 21st March, equinox, summer solstice, then equinox, then comes solstice again. So let's revise what was happening. We were talking about the apparent movement of the sun. And what is summer solstice? Summer solstice is when the sun is directly overhead the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere. And what is winter solstice? The same is true. That is, the sun is directly overhead the Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. Now, between this movement, it will have to cross the equator twice. The journey of the sun is restricted between this tropical region. So, the sun is never overhead beyond the tropics, but at least once it will be overhead if you are living within the tropics, and twice over the equatorial line. Now, because of this movement of the sun is after all the prime energy source for everything on the earth. So because of this movement, there are several changes that is happening on the surface. Now, apparently, what is very visible is a change in seasons. The change in seasons. Then comes the shift in permanent pressure belts. The permanent pressure belts traces the movement of the sun as it goes up and comes down. And finally, there is a shift in ITCZ, or the intertropical convergence zone. Because of this movement, several changes are happening on the surface of the earth which aid us in bringing change in climate, in wind, in weather, and everything. So that's all about the apparent movement of the sun. Thanks for listening. All the best.